Hi, I'm Jenny from the Sewing Palace. Thank you for joining us for our row by row experience for 2016. Right here is our block for Home Sweet Home. It features some beautiful mountains, cabin, campfire, all the beauty of Montana. So I'm just going to give you a couple of tips for making your row by row block. So this is your layout guide. You're first going to cut your background fabric. This is a batik fabric and you're going to cut that to size. The unfinished size is 9.5 by 36.5. So you're going to cut that to size. So we've done that. And then you're going to start taking your large pieces out of your kit. These are the pieces that are going to create the mountain. You'll be referring to your layout diagram, but their largest mountains will sit up front, and then the dark ones, which are purple, will sit in the back. So what you first want to do is pull off the paper. The paper just sits on the back of the fabrics, and you're going to pull that off of all those pieces. So I have 4 pieces of snow, and then I have 3 large mountains and 2 smaller purple mountains. Since you've trimmed this to 9.5 by 36.5, you're then going to take these pieces and square them up along the bottom so that they line up. And you're going to do that over here. I would do both sides first to get those laid out. Then you'll notice, I'm going to set the water aside for a moment. You'll notice that these pieces fit together nicely. I'm going to tuck this straight edge underneath, and then you'll notice when you get them all together, these pieces will just form beautifully together. Now what you can do is take a hot iron, I have peeled the paper off, and tap the bottom. When you get these lines lined up, you can tap at the bottom so that they stay in place. So I'm just holding some heat to hold those in place. Make sure not to go all the way up at the top, specifically because over on this side you're going to start tucking mountains in, but you'll see at least they're held in place. So I'm going to come over here, you'll tap with your iron all along here, and then you'll tuck the mountains underneath. Now remember, you haven't ironed that yet, so that will be easy to tuck up underneath. And then you'll come over here and you'll tuck this mountain underneath here. Now layered on top of all of those, not all peaks, but several of them, you have some snow. So again, you'll peel off the paper and you'll align your snow on top of the peaks. Isn't that starting to look like Montana? And there's our snow on this side. Then you can lay your water. You'll notice this puzzle piece just goes beautifully together, and the water of the river just comes right out of the mountain and will line up along the bottom. And then you'll want to press. When you're pressing with the iron, you want to press and don't go back and forth. You want to make sure you press and don't go back and forth and not use steam initially, and get all those pieces lined up. Then you'll start to adorn it with the other items. For instance, trees, a cabin, a bald eagle, a tent, campfire. And I'm just going to show you one little step here in regards to those small pieces. So this is laser cut. It does have the fusible web on the back. And this piece of material is a Teflon pressing sheet. You can purchase several sizes. This is one choice. The larger, the nicer it is to have to work with larger pieces. This is a small little unit, but I'll show you how it goes together. So this is going to grow up to be a little swan or a goose. And when they laser cut this, the machine will cut around and it'll leave little tiny snippets that you'll need to separate. So you just take your scissors and you'll cut. And it'll be every couple of inches, and then you'll have the main body of the bird. And that will get laid like that. And then his wing gets tucked up underneath. So I'm just going to remove the paper, and you'll see there's a flat edge there. You want to hide the flat edge. So there's his bottom wing. And then here's his beak. It's a large piece of fabric, but the beak is actually right here, and there's just one little snippet that you have to cut to remove the beak. Then you'll peel off the paper and take your beak and stick it down. You may need a pen or tweezers to get some of these small pieces together. See if I can manage here. Just use the tip of my scissors to get that in place. Now, if you were to blow on this, you know those pieces would separate. So that's the beauty of the applique pressing sheet, where it's going to adhere using your iron. So I'm going to take and press this, and I'm going to press it down here because my background is hiding underneath. And you want to make sure your beak is right where you want it. And then again, you're going to take your iron and you just kind of come straight down and press it. So since this is a Teflon pressing sheet, once you're done pressing it, and that should just be a couple of seconds, that was probably a little on the long side, you'll let it cool and you'll be able to remove it from that Teflon pressing sheet. Now instead of working with 3 pieces, you have that one, and then you can place it up onto your background. So you'll build your block with all of those pieces. First, make your mountain scene, and then you'll get your cabin and all of those pieces assembled, and you'll have your row by row block done. Thanks for joining us for the row by row experience from the Sewing Palace. Thank you.